Hello and welcome back to our channel. In this video, we're going to discuss a very important topic that has been making headlines around the world recently. Will Russia use nuclear bombs in the ongoing conflict with Ukraine? And if used, what will happen? There have been a lot of speculations and fears about this, so let's dive in and see what the experts have to say. First of all, it's important to note that the use of nuclear weapons is considered as last resort. Russia, like all other nuclear powers, is aware of the catastrophic consequences of using such weapons, and would only consider it in extreme circumstances. Now, let's have a look on how many nuclear weapons does Russia hold. Russia has just under 6,000 nuclear weapons, the world's largest nuclear arsenal, and it also has the capability to launch its nuclear weapons from land, air, and sea. Russian nuclear weapons range widely in destructive yield, from weapons equivalent to hundreds of kilotons of TNT to so-called tactical nuclear weapon that range from about 10 to 100 kilotons. No Russian official has called for a nuclear weapon strike, but they have indicated towards the use of a tactical nuclear weapon. Now let's imagine the scenario in which Russia uses a tactical nuclear weapon against Ukraine. Putin gives the order to prepare nuclear weapons for further use. At this point, no matter how secret it is, the United States and allies will already know about it. Western intelligence is watching Russia relentlessly. Now, as Russia has prepared nuclear weapons for use, argument from the United States and NATO and China will not help. Russia loads air bombs on bombers and installs tactical nuclear missiles on Iskander-M-type complexes. Everything is ready now, but Ukraine already knows about this. It has been informed by the allies. The infrastructure is prepared, the key officials of the state are ready to be evacuated to bunkers at the slightest threat. Military equipment is constantly changing locations to avoid being hit. Aircrafts are sent to underground shelters. Then Russia launches an attack, missiles hit strategic targets and military infrastructure. As Russia naturally strikes cities as well, this has some effect militarily but huge in civilian. Large civilian casualties, people in panic, terror against civilians has worked, but not against the military. They are angry and ready to tear the Russian soldiers apart. Will Ukraine stop? The answer is absolutely no. Ukrainians are now as angry as possible, and want to destroy Putin and all his henchmen. In this scenario, I think it will be almost impossible to stop Ukraine. All of Putin's accomplices who have not managed to escape will be found and punished. But will United States intervene, or maybe NATO? Will there be retaliatory nuclear strikes against Russia? The US and NATO are intervening unequivocally. Now military contingents are being introduced into Ukraine, equipment is being redeployed, a no-fly zone is being established. The Black Sea Fleet, as the former commander of United States forces in Europe, Ben Hodges, said, is destroyed in an instant, but not only that, the entire military infrastructure supporting the Russian Black Sea Fleet is destroyed. As for retaliatory nuclear strikes on the territory of Russia, there are doubts. Let me explain why. This is a step towards global nuclear war that will probably have no winners. Will Russia stop? Unlikely. A demented old man will go all the way. Not only that, as long as Putin is alive, the probability of nuclear conflict in Ukraine escalating into a global war between Russia and the collective West will constantly increase. And there will be an attempt to eliminate Putin and Russia's top leadership. If successful, that should be the end of it. But if this fails, it will turn into global conflict. Now, let's discuss about how can we prevent nuclear weapons use. The international community must consistently and categorically condemn any and all threats to use nuclear weapons, like states parties to the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons did in the Vienna Declaration. Consistent and unequivocal condemnation from the international community can stigmatize and delegitimize nuclear threats, help restore and strengthen the norm against the use of nuclear weapons, and reinforce disarmament and non-proliferation efforts. In conclusion, while the possibility of Russia using nuclear bombs in the conflict with Ukraine cannot be completely ruled out, but it is highly unlikely. Russia is aware of the catastrophic consequences of such a move, and has other means to achieve its military objectives. That being said, the situation is still tense and unpredictable, and we must continue to monitor it closely. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more updates on this and other important topics. And as always, feel free to leave your comments and questions down below, and I will see you in the next one.